What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, man, y'all done tuned in to another episode of All Truth No Chaser. Y'all know we got some housekeeping, so let's just knock this out real quick. If you haven't already done it, go over to Instagram, give your boy a follow. That's All Truth _ No Chaser, All Truth _ No Chaser. Whatever platform you're listening on, I think we got a good conversation that y'all gonna enjoy. So whatever platform you're listening on, go ahead. Give me a follow, share this with your peoples. Let's build up our community, you feel me? And you know what? Let's not talk about this no more. Let's just get into it. Okay, everybody. I feel as though this conversation is going to be very informative to just what the other side fatherhood looks like. And I honestly think this is going to be a blessing to a lot of people. So today I'm very fortunate. I got my man Eddie. Eddie, I've known you since high school, right? Since high school?
High school.
Wait, how tall are you, bro?
6'10".
Okay, so the fact that he's 16, we did not play football together.
Yeah, I was a basketball guy.
Yeah, Eddie played basketball, but we ran in the same circles. And I think within the last, I don't know, man, 5 or 6 years, that's when we really, because we run in the same circles, that's when you and I really, even though we've known each other since adolescence, I think that's where our relationship really kind of bonded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh yeah.
Eddie, man, how long you been married, bro?
15 years.
15 years. And so the reason why I asked you to participate in this episode is because you've been very blessed to adopt 2 wonderful children. Why did you decide to go that route?
I mean, I would say me and my wife, we tried to, have children, naturally on our own for a while, and my wife had to have, surgery. She actually has to have surgery coming up within the next couple of weeks.
Surgery
Again. So
what she had to have
same.
surgery for?
I'm sorry, say again.
What she had to have surgery for?
She has the fibroids. Those are those like she has a cyst on
Okay. So she has fibroids.
Yeah, and they're like one of them is like real big, so she has to get them removed.
Just for clarity, right? So fibroids are muscular tumors that grow on the wall of the uterus. They can be as small as an apple, as big as a grapefruit. Fibroids typically affect women between 30 and 40, even while they're going through menopause. It can even happen after menopause, but there have been reports that after menopause that some fibroids do shrink. There is no rhyme or reason why people get fibroids. A lot of times they just tie it to family history, that type of thing. And for Black women, they have fibroids more than we see in any other race of women. But there's not like, how did this happen? Where did this come from? If the mother dealt with fibroids, they say it's like a 3 to 4 times more likely that their daughter deals with fibroids. I was reading that obesity can be an effect with fibroids, and how you eat can assist with, like if you eat a very like clean diet, that can help with how you deal with fibroids. But if you eat a very meaty diet, that can make it worse. Most fibroids come with heavy bleeding, feeling full in a pelvic, like the lower stomach. They can be painful during sex. It can be painful for during urination. There's complications during pregnancy. So like if she has fibroids, most likely they have to get a C-section, a cesarean section. It's very rare that fibrosis, if I'm saying that right, leads to infertility, but it can lead to you having problems conceiving children just for health reasons. So I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to. I remember you mentioning that. I wasn't 100% sure, but I did want to kind of do some reading up on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we hear as men, we hear fibroids, but that don't mean we really know
Yeah.
what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So when you found out that your wife has fibroids, that it was going to be difficult for you guys to conceive naturally, like how did that make you feel, bro?
I mean, I don't know, I guess because I already had a daughter, I didn't really feel like a certain way. Like, I think with some people, they like, hey, I want to have, this many kids or this and that and the other. And I think for me, it was just, I'm gonna let God dictate that, like I didn't say, I didn't get frustrated or I didn't get down on myself, because, or down on her, for that. I just said, hey, I'm just gonna let God move in that, move us in the direction He wants us to move in. And I think when we just, collectively did that, it was like, okay, well, hey, we found out, hey, there's a family that we know that they adopted. I think they adopted 10 kids. No, they adopted 8 kids, so they have a total of 10 kids. And we met with them through church and stuff like that, and we just saw how that interaction was with the kids that they had, and we were just like, wow, we just kind of just that was like a visual, I guess like a visual of actually seeing how that was, and then I think uh being with them, and then also just saying, hey, maybe that's what God's plan is for us, is to adopt.
Did you feel like with your wife, she felt she was letting like you down and you were having
No,
to like encourage her, or it was just it is what it is?
yeah, I was more like I said, I was more like, hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna stress. I wasn't stressing about it because she did ask me. She was just like, how do you feel if we don't have kids?
This is why y'all were dating.
Right.
She asked you that?
Well, no, this was I would say this is probably 3, 4 years down the road when we was married.
So did you
And
know she had fibroids, or there might be some problems conceiving before y'all got together?
no, we didn't know. We didn't know. Like I think because she had her surgery. I think I want to say it was even long. It was longer than that because she had her surgery probably like 3 or 4 years within our marriage, and then that's when we were kind of like, I think about a couple more years after that. That's when we were kind of like, we kind of saw like, hey, she never, we never, conceived or anything, and
Did y'all when y'all were dating and courting and have the kid conversation like,
yeah.
I would like, maybe we can have 2 kids, boy and girl, like that type of conversation?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we were because again, I already had one, and then we were just kind of like, hey, yeah, we can have a couple kids, and really just never thought of, it was just more it was just casual. We didn't really, we just thought, hey, it was just gonna happen.
Yeah.
It was just gonna have to happen naturally. And but years on down the line, she had her surgery. Then um, I would say probably like maybe about 5 or 6 years in the marriage, it was just like, hey, um, this is something that I think God put on our heart to do, is to adopt kids, and we saw that there was a need, especially in the state of Texas, and not just state of Texas, but in the whole United States, there's a big need.
Yeah. They say one
For
out of 25 families, one out of
exactly,
25 families have adopted.
exactly. So, and it's a big need to adopt children, because there's a lot of children out there that need homes, and initially we wanted, we was going to adopt boys. We was
Yeah.
going to adopt one boy.
Before you got to the stage of adoption,
Mm-hmm.
um, did you have to figure out how to maneuver like was it for you and your wife? Was it really like, okay, we can't have kids, and y'all just it wasn't there wasn't any like disappointment within you guys that y'all had to manage? It was just like, all right, on to the next
Yeah, we really wasn't honestly, man. We wasn't. It was no disappointment. You know, it was just like, okay, well, what does God have in store for us?
one. Yeah,
And I
yeah.
just think with that, and then we started going to. So we did what is it called? Foster care adoption group. We were we did that, and then we started seeing other families that were either fostering children and adoption, and then it was just like, hey, I think this is what God wants us to do. This is
Yeah.
he put, because when he puts it, we put something on your heart, then it's like, okay, you gotta follow through and and go with what he says. Uh, so we did that. We wanted to, because we wanted to adopt, boys, and and it was crazy story. We we finally got a call we did foster to adopt. So that's what we did at first.
Yeah.
Um, we um started getting all this stuff, all this boy stuff. We got, people donated a whole bunch of things to us, clothes, boy bed,
The whole nine.
everything, all this. It was a whole bunch of stuff. And so the people called and said, yeah, we got this, and it was a baby, so that was a different thing too. It was like, oh wow, this is like newborn, newborn baby. And so they told us, that the boy was available. So then they called us back. I want to say maybe 24 hours later. They said, it's not a boy, it's a girl. Okay, and we were like, okay, we wanted a boy, we got this boy stuff. So, but again, I think it was like God saying, hey, you asked for this, and this is, this is on your heart, so you got to follow through.
Yeah.
And that's the girl, so we couldn't say no, so we got a little girl, and so her name is, I don't know if I can say, I don't know if I can say her
I mean,
name,
you
but
can. You can tell us your baby name.
yeah, so her name is Kisa. That's what we named her. And so got her. She was 7 days old when we got her. And then just a sweet little, I mean, just tiny, tiny. I got big hands. I could just literally hold her in the palm of my hand. She
Yeah.
was like maybe 3 or 4 pounds.
Yeah.
And so um, got her. So fast forward, we had her for about 16 months. Okay. Then they called us again. They called us again. It was like the same mother. Called us again. Say, okay, that was a little boy. The mama had a little boy. And and this time it was a boy.
Yeah.
It was a little boy. So and we were just, at that time we were like, okay, we're just gonna adopt one child. Well, we ended up adopting two. So that was like, yeah. So and she was, I'm gonna be honest, she was a good baby. She was a
Yeah.
good baby. No problems. Ate, slept, good. Little man, different story. Different story. I mean, he was a sickly baby. Had to go to the hospital a couple times. And I spent almost about 9 months never sleeping. And I was coaching football at the time, so that was.
You get these beautiful babies, and that's a great thing too, right? Because they don't have
Hmm.
to feel alone. Do you guys have
Yeah.
one? Like, do you guys have a an open or closed adoption?
Yeah, it's closed because of the situation of the mother and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to because the mother has previous kids that are older, and we also had to change their names and stuff like that. So yeah,
Do you so do you think are you so will you tell her that she's adopted? Of them? Would you let them
yeah,
know
they know.
she's adopted?
Yeah, they already know. Yeah, yeah,
And
we
if they
yeah
wanted
we've
to
been
meet
telling them.
if they wanted to meet their birth mother, would is that an option?
That's something that I don't think we've gotten to yet because they're still so young.
I meant
Um,
like for you, like um for you and your wife as y'all discuss this part, if they
mhm.
come to you in the future,
Yeah,
high school, college, whatever, and they
yeah,
decide to want to meet her, is that a pathway that will be available to them?
I mean, honestly, we haven't discussed that far yet. Because right now we know they know. Um, we've been talking to them, over time, just kind of
What's
letting
that
them
like?
know. I mean, they're real receptive of it. I mean, because they're smart kids. I mean, they already kind of ask questions, and they can, and especially Kisa because she's like highly intelligent. So she was already asking. She's 8 now, so she
Yeah.
was already asking questions at like 5.
What you mean asking questions? She's like, "Hey, you really my daddy?"
Well, no, not necessarily, but she was asking like because when kids they start seeing, they see mothers that are pregnant or they see babies, then they start asking questions like, "Hey,
Uh,
how was how they?" And it's mainly geared toward my wife.
right. Well, how was I in your belly? Like those type of questions.
Yeah, those type of questions, and
I
then
got
that's when you have to explain to them, okay, hey, this is this is how things were and things like that nature, and talk to them, kind of just casually talk to them, over, a little bit over time.
you. Yeah.
But they do know. I mean, and we didn't want to keep that from them because we didn't want
Okay.
them to
You
like.
said they know, so maybe they know, but they don't have a full understanding.
Yeah, exactly, because I think it's because of the age.
Right.
They're still young, so
They,
and we'll tell
they
them
got the
more.
words. They have the word "I'm adopted" in their vocabulary, but they
Hmm.
haven't necessarily attached the meaning behind that as of yet.
Exactly.
But as they get
Yeah.
older, that conversation will evolve that way.
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll tell them more about the story and about everything, and because you have to keep it age appropriate.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So we definitely know, and we're ready to, when that time comes. But the main thing is we wanted to talk to them about it because we don't want them to get that from someone else,
Yeah.
and it'd be like a
Like,
shock to them.
do you feel like
You know?
the fact that you guys did go the route of adopting that? Because typically, right in the, I would imagine when I say typically that your wife tells you that she's pregnant, and then you guys have like this um, pregnancy journey, and then
Mhm.
baby's born in the hospital, and
Mhm.
you guys, um, if all things are healthy between male, female, husband, wife, you guys end up having like this bond of closeness.
Mhm.
Was that the same for you guys when you brought baby girl home as a newborn?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, because it's like it just. I mean, bro. I don't know, man. That was just magical. Like just to have another little one in the house.
Whole house feel different.
I mean, it changed the whole dynamics, man. It really did.
Yeah.
I mean, so it just I think definitely brought us closer together. And then we got little man. Well, that was we really, really having 2 babies at one time. That was something. That was
Tight
something
spot.
else.
It's a tight spot. Do you
It
feel
is.
do you feel like the dreams you have for yourself are the things that you didn't accomplish? Those are the type of goals and ambitions that you want to see your son achieve?
No, not necessarily, because I'm more. I think differently. Like I'm more. I want him to achieve the goals that he want to achieve.
Mm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I want to put him on a path. Like, I want to I feel like as a father, my job is to find out what he likes to do, find out his passion, and encourage him to go into the passion that he wants to do. Because I feel like when you do that, he's going to first of all he's going to appreciate it, and he's going to go after it more
Mm.
because it's what he really wants to do. You know, and I've seen like some fathers like say, hey, well, I had to make the NBA, so I'm gonna teach you how to play ball and make it to the NBA. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that may not be his passion. You know what
Especially
I'm saying?
considering your story with your mom and being
Exactly.
the mother of the WNBA, the mother of women's basketball, and
Mm-hmm.
you did really well in basketball. It didn't. Did you go to? Did you get drafted?
No, I didn't know. I just went to college, man. I played. I
You just
played
went to
about three
college to play, and
years.
it was done.
Yeah, I played 3 years, and man, I didn't play my senior year, and I got my degree. Because
Yeah,
I mean, you get burned out. So
yeah.
um, so it's just yeah. But that was the main thing was I was like, okay, I got to get my degree. I wanted to finish school.
Do you feel
So
like, with considering your history, do you think your kids would want to live up to that mantle
I
of
mean, they may.
making it,
I
at
mean,
least
they
making
may.
it to the top of the chain, since your mother was?
They may want to. I know my oldest daughter was not a sports person at all. She didn't want to have anything to do with sports.
Yeah,
But, she did cross country, which she did that in middle school. But and they're in gymnastics right now.
they're doing the kid sports.
Yeah, and my son is in taekwondo, so
Yeah,
so they're involved in different things. But like I say, I just want them to whatever they are passionate about, I want to push them toward that.
yeah.
I don't feel like it'll be because if I see like my son or my daughter have a passion for basketball, I'll work with them and I get them the training and stuff that they need. Get them in the league, stuff like that. But they have to want that passion. They have to have shown that passion to do it.
You're not going to
Yeah,
use your lineage as a motivational tool.
yeah. I do. I mean, they do know about my mom. I mean, they do
Yeah,
know. And honestly, my daughter Keisha, she's never played before, but can dribble basketball. Like she's just athletic.
yeah,
She can do anything. I mean, whatever sport she want to play, she can do it. I
yeah.
mean, so like I said, it just depends. I think it's just really just encouraging them to just do well. Do well in whatever you want to do.
What did you
And,
see different? What did you see different in your wife when the babies came home? Did you see a different side of her that you didn't know existed, or did you just see who she is amplified?
I think I saw her as being more. I would say I don't know. I think that those babies, man, make you more. I guess they break it down a little bit. Like not in a bad way, but they do make you. They make you more subtle, more
Empathetic,
calm. I think.
sympathetic,
Yeah,
understanding,
yeah,
patient.
they break the edge. Yeah, because you ain't got no choice with them babies. You ain't got no choice,
They,
but they
they
gonna
make
break
you
it down.
cry down.
Oh yeah, they gonna break it down. Like them two in the morning wake ups
Yeah.
crying in the middle, and you got to get up and go to work at 5:30 in the morning. That's yeah.
Did you ever feel like, man, what did we sign up for? Like, dang,
I mean,
because you guys didn't. It's not like you guys had the opportunity to, like, the 9 months of preparation. You guys didn't get to do that. So when the babies did show up, did you feel like, man, what have we done?
well, the first one, like I said, with Keisha wasn't that bad. Oh, that was a good one. But he pushed the limits a little bit on. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, because like I said, I was, you
So,
know.
so y'all were deceived. You was like, oh yeah, we can take another baby. That's light work.
Well, I mean, I ain't gonna say light work because we knew we was getting into. It was just we didn't want. Well, the main thing is we knew that they were brother and sister, and we didn't want them to be split.
Right.
You know, so and I think it was the combination. It was a combination of him, being hospitalized a couple of times because he had colic and he had bronchitis,
Hmm.
and then man, just he was just a different baby. He would
Is
he
this in
was
Houston or was this or like overseas or something like that?
no, that was it. No, they're all Houston. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, both from Houston. Yeah,
When
so
you knew they were going to have there were some potential complications. Did that make you feel hesitant? Or was it
and,
like, hey, they called you on Monday, we got this other baby, it's the brother of
mhm,
sister. Do you want this child or not?
yeah.
Or did you
I mean,
guys
I was like, I mean, I think honestly, my wife was more like, "Are you sure?" And I was just like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." I mean, we need to. I just felt like that's what we were supposed to do. I mean, I had no hesitation.
this is
And,
like when you say you had no hesitation, that means like even with the people on the phone, you like, all right, cool.
yeah, as soon as like my wife called me at work, and and she was like, "Yeah, there's another baby. They want us to come get the baby." I had no hesitation.
When you say
Like
come get the
honestly,
baby, you mean like right now?
it was like the baby was born. I think we got the baby like maybe 3-4 days later.
Cause so how do you go about like preparing for that?
Man, hey, all I can say is it's like that was the thing too. We were in a group that with the adoption foster adoption group, and
Yeah.
it was like when we let people know, hey, we was getting a baby, it was like people just started just bringing stuff to us. Like it was
Immediately.
crazy. Y'all, man, we had Pampers, we had milk, we had all kind of stuff. It was crazy. It was
What
so
about y'all
crazy.
families?
I'm sorry.
Y'all families. What was that like?
Same way, man. They were just like, wow. I mean, they were just bringing stuff too, man. It was, yeah.
Did they come stay with you guys while y'all was trying to get them broke in?
My mother-in-law did. My mother-in-law helped us out a lot. 'Cause
Yeah.
she even helped with my stepmom and my mother-in-law kept them the first years.
Wow.
Uh, so that was a blessing too. Like we didn't have to have like childcare the first year with them, so we had someone keeping them as well. While we went to work. Um,
So did you guys
so,
still had to like keep up your work schedules, or was it like
oh yeah, yeah.
maternity leave, or it ain't none of that?
Yeah, we had that. Yeah, we had that. Um, my wife with the first baby, she stayed home, and so with me, since and that was crazy. The last, so I was at a job. I was an athletic coordinator, and so I didn't know anything about it. So we got my son, and I think when it was like the beginning of May, so I was able to apply for it too.
Hmm.
Because we adopted, and I was able to. I kept him the whole month of May. Um,
Wow.
to stay home with him, and then that ran over into the summer.
Oh
So
yeah,
I mean,
so
like I
you had
said,
a good almost 6 months.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That was a blessing right there. Like I was able to apply for that, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna stay home with my son, and I stayed home. I mean, I was at home with him every day,
Do they
the whole
this
month.
do you get money from the state, or is that a foster thing?
That's a foster thing. Yeah,
Okay.
when you foster, you get money, but once you adopt, you don't get. It's all on you.
Yeah. Do you still have to like go through like checkups and like? people from the state coming to make sure y'all is once you adopt
Once
this,
once
it's
you
over.
adopt, that's it. They're yours. Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. And like now, when you do, there's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of trainings and stuff you have to go to when you're in foster. When you're doing foster care.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, once you adopt, that's it.
Man, I was reading that they say 4.5 million Americans are adopted, and that's 7% of the population.
Wow.
So the I guess when I was asking about the child's mother, you don't think you guys are beautiful people,
Mhm.
but do you think you'll ever have to deal with them trying to figure out um, their identity?
I
Because
mean, I could possibly see that, one day. And
from
I
like
and I wouldn't. I don't know how. I have to like again. I have to have a discussion with the wife. But I wouldn't have a problem with it.
yeah,
Um, like when they get older. I think like when they got grown.
and they're
Uh,
more emotionally secure.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys feel as if y'all were having any like bonding issues, or was everything just smooth?
As far as bonding with the kids.
Yeah. Are the kids
Oh
bonding
no.
with y'all?
Oh no. It was because we had them. Because the thing was, we had them so young. Like we had them as
Yeah.
babies. So it's different. Like
All
so
they
when you
know
get
is you.
yeah, that's all yeah, exactly. So because we got Keisha, she was like 7 days old, and then we got DJ, he was 6 days old.
Yeah.
So it was like that's all that's all they know.
Yeah.
And that was the thing too, because we were thinking because our initial plan was to adopt like a 2-year old,
Mm.
like little kid, like a kid that's already been around for 2 years, and but that was just not God's plan. You
Yeah.
know, it was just not his plan. His plan was like, no, you're gonna get these babies and you're gonna you're gonna train them all the way up. So, yep.
Yeah, man. I just think it's a beautiful story because typically fatherhood has so many dynamics to it. Motherhood
hmm
does too, but fathers are so critical because even before your kids, how long were you coaching?
Man, I coached before the kids. I was already coaching like 10 years.
Because that's an element of fatherhood too. Like, do you feel the outpouring you had to do to those kids um, is probably why, like when you found out that your wife wasn't able to conceive, you already were surrounded by kids. Do you feel like that's probably why you weren't so heartbroken at the idea that conceiving naturally was going to be difficult?
No, not really, because again, I already had a daughter. So
Right.
so having her already and having her so young, I was 19, 20. So when the kids came along, she was already, let me see, she's 23 and Keisha's about to be 9. So she was already like 13, 14 years old.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
But with your wife, did you feel like for her, like you having to help her maneuver the fact that pregnancy is probably something she won't get to experience?
yeah, I think
I know you can't speak. I know you can't speak for
yeah,
her.
I really can't because I like she from my understanding she was cool. Like it wasn't an issue to her. I
Yeah.
think for her it was probably more how I felt about it
Mm.
because because we know people that we have a couple friends that it's the same. It was the same issue. They the dads wanted to have kids,
Mm.
and then they took a different step. They went to they did the in vitro and spent a lot of money doing that
Did you guys
going
consider
that
that?
route. We did, but then we were like, man, that's expensive.
Yeah, it
So
is.
how much? We know people that like went in a lot of debt doing that. I mean, we
Yeah,
talking.
tens to twenties of thousands of dollars.
Exactly, and it does, and it's guaranteed, and it's not guaranteed it's gonna work.
Yeah.
You know, like I know people that put at least $100,000 into that.
Wow.
You know, going, trying, and one of them actually it worked for them. You know, they were able to conceive.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, man, I mean, that's just a lot. So I just felt like it was best to just do the option of what God wanted, done,
Y'all
and
felt
just
like
put it in His
to
hands.
have kids, but we not trying to be $100,000 in debt behind it.
Exactly.
And
Because
so
'cause my thing is, once you get them, you're gonna be more debt because you got to take care of them.
you gotta take care of them.
You
That's
got to take care of them, man. So you're gonna spend. You already about to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars
yeah. And
on zero.
everybody's story is different. Everybody is
Well,
allowed
true.
to write their story as it pertains to in vitro, as it pertains to adoption.
Yeah,
You are allowed to write that story how you see fit.
that's true. That's true. It's all about the individual and the individual couple. What
Yeah.
they want to do and what their plans are. So I can't say what way is right or wrong. It's more, hey, that's what we decided. That's the best thing for us. So,
Yeah.
uh, and I feel like we did a great thing because our kids are thriving.
Yeah.
They are working. They're learning in school. They're learning. They're great communicators, and they love each other, and they beat up on each other like normal siblings
They
do.
they do their job. They do their
Oh
job.
yeah. So they have fun.
Man, I gotta tell you, man, I really appreciate you taking the time out just to kind of um, explain what this side of fatherhood looks like when the
Hmm.
babies aren't biologically yours and you go the route of adoption. We I don't think we talk enough about the parents who do adopt, considering they're like a little under a half a billion kids
Hmm.
in the United States that that are being prepared for adoption. And then I think I saw they said it was like 120,000 kids that are actually looking actively to be adopted. And
Wow.
we know about adoption, but I
Hmm.
think talking about it from the perspective of like, no, like my wife and I couldn't have kids, but we knew we wanted kids, and this is the route that we decided to take to adopt, and it's been very successful for
Hmm.
you guys. I also think it's great that you're not closed. Some people want to adopt and then they don't want to tell nobody nothing.
Hmm.
And I think it's great that you're like, yes, these are our kids. We
Hmm.
aren't opposed to them meeting their birth mother, but we would save that for like down the line at a later date. Because
Okay.
you guys are putting your imprint on them as you
Hmm.
should. And
Hmm.
man, I just want to say thank you for taking the time out
Oh
to,
yeah. Oh yeah, man. No problem.
just to share that, adoption can be a beautiful thing. Like the unknowns are scary.
Oh
Everything that's
yeah. Oh,
unknown
yeah.
is scary.
Definitely. It definitely is. And one of the biggest things people gotta understand is that even whether you having kids naturally or having kids, you're adopting children. Um, the main thing is that whichever one you gotta raise them, you gotta take care of them, you gotta nurture them,
Mm,
and you gotta encourage them. You gotta be parents to those kids because you know their situations. Working in the school system, we see it all the time where you got people they have the kids natural, but they're not taking care of them. There's neglect. It's
mm-hmm.
it's abuse and it's those type of things. And so
Michael
whether
Jackson said,
you
"Don't have the baby if you can't raise the baby."
exactly, so you have these two different things, man. So I feel like, hey, if you're a person that whether you have them natural or you're adopting them, take care of them
Yeah,
and teach them how to teach them, educate them the right way. Uh, teach them how to be, productive citizens in society.
And that, and
And
most people don't understand that when you're trying to raise a decent human being,
yes,
decent,
that's what we need.
that is hard work.
It's a hard deal because you're dealing with all the different outside influences, and
Mm-hmm.
it's hard today. I'm gonna tell you, being in the school system and seeing what you know parents are facing.
Because they
Parents
have
are
so
facing
much
a
access.
lot
They
of
got
stuff.
so much access
Access to a
things
lot, man.
that they are not mentally, emotionally, and
I'm not
physically
ready for it.
prepared for. And
Nope.
that in turn creates these behaviors, you know.
Exactly.
And when you have inactive parents, you end up allowing those outside forces to
Mm-hmm.
have too much influence over them.
Much influence, and I can say that because I'm a behavior coach in the school, so I see the behaviors, I see the influences of the peers and the internet and the cell phone, and man, and the the outside other outside influences. I don't want to get too deep into it, but
Yeah,
the way society is shaping things that make these kids think they have to act a certain way to
yeah,
be
I got
cool.
you. I got you.
You got that. That's a big one. So that is it's difficult. It's difficult raising kids these days. So you're gonna have to really, really monitor, really, um, talk to them, ask them. Really, one of the biggest things I think that's great is to just talk to your kids and ask them questions. Like, hey, it don't have to be anything major. It's like, how you doing today, man? What's going on?
Yeah,
And if they don't feel like talking to you, oh well, that's cool. But it's gonna come a day they gonna. But if you continue to ask those questions like that, it's gonna be days they're gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna feel more free. They're gonna feel more free to come talk to you. And I
yeah,
learned it with my oldest. I didn't. I feel like going back to the coaching thing, I was coaching a lot of years, so um, I didn't really have that. I was taking care of her and stuff like that, but I noticed until later on when she got older that I needed to ask more questions and talk to her more. You know what I'm saying? And now I do that with my younger kids. I'm like, hey, just simple stuff. Hey, how's your day going? What's going on? What you learn today? Just stuff like that. And then you kind of engage like what their thought process is and what's going on with them.
yeah. But man,
So that's
I want to applaud you, man. Listen, on being a attentive father. I want to applaud you for being an active daddy. You
I'm
know,
trying. I'm
and I
trying.
think just showing that the heart doesn't have any capacity. You allowing your heart to grow larger for two babies that are not biologically yours, but you're making them yours is a beautiful thing, man. And I just want to, like I said, I just want to say thank you again
Oh
for
yeah,
coming on
thank
the
you,
show,
man.
for sharing your story with us. I hope just people hearing your story to look at adoption a little bit different if that's something that they were considering, and to be hopeful about the process, and that it is possible to take the route of adoption and for it to work out for everybody's benefit. And that there are communities out there that can help you, that want to
Yes.
help you, that desire to help you, and you're not by
Mhm.
yourself in that community. And I think that's so important because when you don't know what you don't know, you don't necessarily know where to go to get the sources.
That's true. That's true.
You know, and I appreciate you, man. So with that being said, if you're trying to help God when he don't need no help, chances are you already lost. Peace.